Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. I am Glory, the Golden Light Goddess, and I'm here today to do a general reading for the sign of Aquarius for the month of May 2018. Today I'll be using two decks. The main deck for the reading will be the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, and then we'll be drawing a guidance card from Karen Sangster's Chakra Insight Oracle deck. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started now, Aquarius. Every time I get ready to do the Aquarius reading, that song, Aquarius, Aquarius, always comes into my mind. And I really wish that there was a song for every single sign so that, everyone would have that lovely energy around their sign. But let's go ahead and get started now, Aquarius. You're starting out with your overall energy here. These cards were drawn from our monthly readings that were done, or the monthly cards that were drawn in the month of January this year, and you'll see these cards coming up throughout the year in your readings. But here you are starting out with the Two of Cups. Now, this Two of Cups is very clearly means a happy couple, a strong partnership, and mutual respect. All right, so that is an awesome way to begin your reading here with this lovely Two of Cups energy. Obviously, some of you have very rich, joyous relationships or partnerships or connections going on. If you haven't been experiencing that, then you should probably keep your eyes out for this type of energy in the month of May. So let's take a look now at the rest of your cards and see what else comes forth for Aquarius. Calling on my guides, angels, teachers, helpers, angels, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Aquarius, asking for guidance, clarity, vision, and wisdom as we look at the energies coming in for the sign of Aquarius in the month of May 2018. Giving thanks in advance for perfect clarity, perfect vision, and perfect wisdom as we look at the energies available to the sign of Aquarius in the month of May 2018. Also, if you know your rising or your moon sign, I do encourage you to take a look at those signs as well to get any additional clarity you might be looking for around the energy coming in the month of May. Asking for clarity and guidance as we look at the energy coming in for the sign of Aquarius in the month of May. Also, there's someone is nailing something to the wall, or if you hear some banging in the background, I apologize for that, but sounds like someone is renovating very close to me. Alright, Aquarius, that feels pretty good, so let's go ahead and give the cards a cut here. And let's go ahead now and take a look at your cards for the month of May. Alright, so we have 5 cards we're looking at today. The first is your internal power. Next up, we have your abundance card, your romance card, your challenge card, as well as your final outcome card. So we're starting with your internal power here. And this is just more of what I was just saying about your Two of Cups coming up in the upright as your overall energy. And this is presenting as an internal power for you. So I really love seeing this as an internal power for you, Aquarius. This is the Five of Wands. In the upright, the Five of Wands is about conflict. It's about not being able to see eye to eye, having different perspectives where there's no common ground. When we see the Five of Wands coming up in the reverse this way, it's peace after trouble. You know, it's more of a balanced, harmonious energy. So there's this harmony going on for you, Aquarius, in the month of May that is presenting itself as an internal power. Your ability to brush off what most people would probably be very bothered by is something that will certainly serve you as well as the people around you in the month of May. Again, this is another harmony card. When I see the Two of Cups, this, if I had to sum this cup or this card up in one word, I would say harmony. And then also here, I would use that same word. So I'm really feeling that there's a lot of balance and harmony around the sign of Aquarius in terms of being able to navigate your relationships, in terms of being able to look past you know, things that most people would get tripped up on, really. So yeah, that's a really good internal power to have there, Aquarius. Next, let's take a look at your abundance card. Here we have the Three of Hearts, or that huge heart in the middle. Just, you know, you just can't help but say heart if you're looking at it. It's actually the Three of Swords coming up in the reverse here. Now, when we see the Three of Swords coming in the upright, it's about, you know, heartbreak, being devastated emotionally by something that's gone on for you in the past. But when we see this coming up in the reverse this way, we're looking at recovery, healing. That's really the main word that jumps out to me about this card, Aquarius, is that there's healing taking place. And since we're looking and talking about your abundance and your ability to feel abundant, that means that there's a lot of healing taking place. And I would venture to say that the way that you're able to bring harmony, as I mentioned with this card here, bring harmony to otherwise disharmonious situations, that ability to do that is really what's feeding into this recovery that you're experiencing in the financial sector. So I want to say kudos to you, Aquarius, for you know, really having the mindset to bring that harmony into your relationships and to begin to see that manifesting in a financial way for you in your life. Again, this card is all about recovery and about healing. So wonderful to see that in your abundance area there. Next up, we have another three coming in, double threes for Aquarius in the month of May. We have the Three of Cups coming in your relationship area. I also truly love to see this card in your relationship area. When we see this Three of Cups, it's about strong friendships. Getting back here to what I was saying about your overall energy being the Two of Cups. So you have both the Two and the Three of Cups coming out, both indicating this Three of Cups is all about celebrating that friendship. So it could very well mean that there's an awful lot of celebrations going on in the financial area for Aquarius in the month, or not the financial area, in the relationship area. Perhaps you're celebrating, maybe you just got engaged, or are celebrating an anniversary of some sort, but there's not only a strong connection there, a strong partnership and harmony, there's also this celebratory aspect of your relationships. So again, another very harmonious and emotionally strong card to see coming up in the relationship sector there. Beautiful stuff here, Aquarius. All right, so next up we have your challenge card. You do have the Page of Wands coming up in the reverse as a challenge energy for you in the month of May. So pages typically bring about messages. They typically show up in a reading when there's information or data coming in that will in some way assist you somehow. When we see this Page of Wands coming up in the reverse this way, we're looking at some sort of struggle, or maybe a message that causes you to struggle. This is also a very youthful energy. It is could be a level of immaturity even, but I'm not picking up on the immature here because of the harmony that I see in your reading in relationships, and people who are who have that harmonious type of energy in their relationships typically aren't dealing with a lot of immaturity. That takes a great deal of maturity to bring balance where there isn't any. So I'm not really sensing that the immaturity is going to play a factor here as a challenge for you, Aquarius, in the month of May. I do feel like there's some sort of, there's a message or information coming in that you may seem to struggle with initially. And I do want to overemphasize initially. I'm sensing that if there is something that, information that comes in that causes you some sort of mental strife initially, then that will pass very quickly. Not primarily because of your ability to balance that energy out. It's a very highly regarded characteristic to be able to do that. So you have this wonderful ability to bring harmony where there isn't, where there may seem to be disharmony. So this, if you do experience this influx of energy or information coming in that you have a tendency to struggle with somehow, you'll be able to shake that off very quickly, because as we can see here with your final outcome card being the Magician, you actually have everything that it takes to get this done, to move through that energy and to transmute that energy into something that's much more useful and helpful for you and the people around you. Also noting that right beneath this major arcana Magician, you have the Sun coming in, which I would be shocked if I didn't see something like the Sun showing up in this reading, because it is really a very harmonious and balanced energy around the sign of Aquarius, especially as it relates to your relationships, your partnerships, and your connections. So again, you have everything that you need to get the job done. This Magician is very focused, he's very creative, and a absolute master at turning visions into reality. So if there's a project that you've been working on, perhaps this information coming in that may cause you to struggle with initially, this could potentially end up being something that you use your abilities to work through. And again, bringing a very positive, light energy into play here with the sign of Aquarius in the month of May. So yeah, this is a really, really positive reading, full of balance and harmony and creativity even. I was picking up with this magician that there's this massive ability here to turn your visions into reality. So as a final outcome card, I'm really sensing that that's what Aquarius will be moving towards in the month of May, is actually turning your visions into reality. And you'll do that with a high level of success, collaboration, cooperation from others, is what I'm sensing here as well, with the balance and harmony that I'm seeing. All right, so that concludes the main portion of your reading, Aquarius. Let's go ahead now and take a look and see what else is in the cards for you for the month of May 2018. Maybe I ought to figure out a nice song to sing for every, not that I'm a good singer by any means, but maybe every sign needs a song to sing. As I was saying in the beginning, Aquarius has that really cool song. All right, so calling on my guides, angels, teachers, helpers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Aquarius, asking for one additional guidance card to close out their reading for the month of May 2018. There we go. All right, so that card actually landed right on your magician. All right, so let's take a look and see what's going on. We have forgiveness here. All right, I'm really picking, check out, we have healing there, compassion, growth, which was absolutely what I was picking up here with the Three of Swords coming up in the reverse. A lot of recovery, healing happening, and it's impacting specifically your financial sector. Now, one thing that I sensed right away with this card that I want to share with you, Aquarius, is that I don't feel like, sometimes when we get cards like this, I get the impression that there's this need to do this. That if this card shows up, then typically it means there's a need for someone to practice forgiveness, to incorporate some healing, and to begin the recovery process. However, in this particular reading, Spirit is wanting you to know, Aquarius, that it is your ability to forgive. It is your ability to express compassion that has assisted you in the growth process. In other words, this is not a card advising you to forgive. It is a card acknowledging your ability to forgive, your ability to move on. And that's quite evident here in your reading. It really doesn't take a rocket scientist or a profound tarot reader to be able to see that there's a great deal of harmony and balance coming through, being expressed through the vehicle of Aquarius in the month of May. And this is an acknowledgement of that, right? It's not asking you. Of course, we're always being asked to be compassionate. We're always being asked to be forgiving and accepting and non-resistant of what's happening in our life. Every one of us is being asked to do that all the time. But here is a very clear sense that you're doing that. You're actually doing that, and you're being acknowledged for doing that here in this card. The woman on this card looks so serene, and like, you know, she has no worries, just like the flowers that are blowing in the wind. That's exactly how she views you know, obstacles, you know, as clouds that are floating by, or as I mentioned, like this flower, the daisy that's just blowing their leaves away. So absolutely beautiful energy, Aquarius. Again, kudos for having this way about yourself. If this is not something that you're currently experiencing, do look at the potential there. Do look at the possibility. If you're not already practicing forgiveness, then absolutely make that a central goal for you in the month of May. All right, so that does conclude your awesome reading, Aquarius. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you back here in the month of June. Namaste.